We're here to kick butts and eat nuts, and you can't eat nuts in space. Squirrel Girl. Inhumans enhanced, and all mutants thereupon. This is modern escapism. Excelsior, true believers. My name is Oodles, and I am the Omnipotent Watcher. Today, I am joined by... Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Candy Machine.
It's a bird. Hello.
Also, a force of nature from the depths of the deepest swamp. It's Biggie Swamp Thing.
Fucking hell. Hello.
And the world's greatest detective, often heard screaming, "The cookies, where are they?" It's Stig.
Island boy. Gotta get my island boy.
Oh my god.
The Island Boy's back.
Yep, you'll only get that if you're a Patreon subscriber.
And unfortunately, Gadget isn't with us this evening because we've given him an holiday. He's on his vacation.
Is it gardening holiday?
Yeah. But we do have a very special guest this episode. So last week, I reached out to this very famous director for his input on the Hollywood love affair with superheroes. And you'll never believe it. His people got back to me. That's right, listeners. The legendary king of the silver screen, Sir Ridley Scott, told me to fuck off and never contact him again. So instead, we got Deadbeatpunk.
Yo-ho!
Welcome, sir. So before we go any further with any Patreon sellings and stuff like that, I just want to know who you are.
Oh, everybody knows who I am.
Well, he's a bit confident, isn't he? He's confident for an Irishman.
It's not wrong.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
true.
you know, I send all my listeners over here, so, you know, there shouldn't be any crossover.
Okay, then. So what's your favourite film?
My favourite film is The Blues Brothers, and I was very annoyed none of you fucking nominated it.
It's a great
2000.
film. You know how I love that film, but we only got
I
to
don't
pick two.
fucking care.
We only got to pick
Your
two films.
excuses don't get it nominated. And as I
Okay,
said,
so we've got that.
if you only had two picks, fucking pick it twice.
What's your favourite game?
See, that's a sticky one. I am recording an episode on my favourite game, and I don't want to give the game away. LOL.
What's your second favourite game?
Yes.
Skies of Arcadia. I've already
Perfect.
covered that one.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And what's your favourite conspiracy?
Well, it's a bit of a downer, so I hope you'll stick with me. But
Yeah.
people who tell you that cancer has been cured, like there's a Lemsip for cancer, but they just don't want to put it out because they'll make no money out of it. And it's I don't care who the fuck you are. If you created a cure-all, a wee fucking strepsil that you took that cured all cancer, and it only cost you £1 to make, you could charge whatever the fuck you want
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'd make a lot of money from
for it. Yeah.
that.
So I just don't buy that bullshit at all.
Yeah, I've heard that so many. It's stupid. You hear it with a lot of diseases and stuff like that. Oh, it's big pharma. They want you to die.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off. They want you to live.
yeah.
They want you to live and
Bullness.
keep buying medicine. But
Big companies have more heart than I do. You know,
Yeah.
they want to see you get better.
You have to worry about that, a conspiracy, because mine got cut in the first episode. So.
yes, it did. Yes, it did.
It was that bad.
It was pretty bad. So we've got Punk here from the What the Fuck Do You Want podcast, mainly because it's a big crossover between us, well, our show featuring Stig and Punk's show, What the Fuck Do You Want? For people that don't know, it's a snappy podcast at around about 30 minutes. Beautiful for your little Monday morning commutes. And it's not for the faint of heart, really, is it? Can you elaborate on that much more, Punk?
I really shouldn't fucking have to. But no, don't play it in the car. It's not great. Having windows down isn't great either if you're driving around. I've had a couple of reports of, things not going down too well.
Yeah. Our lovely Stig is going to be on it this week, I believe.
He is.
Oh,
I am, yeah.
He's a dreamboat. But
My only criticism about the show is probably about 30 minutes too long. But other than that, it's-
Well, you know, sadly I have had lesser guests on, but figures speak for themselves.
So, speaking
At
of
least
Stig,
I remember the socials.
Yes. Speaking of Stig, it's time for Stig to do his thing that he does, where he sells this shit to everybody else.
Give us
Yes.
your fucking money.
We
pretty
need that.
much.
We need that as a soundbite.
There we go. Fuck it. There we go. Oh, hang on.
He's deleted it.
No, Gadget's just popped in. He's eavesdropping on us.
Oh, is it?
Away from his hole. There he is.
Can't resist.
He couldn't resist, could he?
Right, Punk, thanks for coming. Off you go, mate.
Yeah, there you go.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, so if you like more of what we do, we have a Patreon. You can head to patreon.com/modernescapism. On there, you'll find the 3 tiers that we do. First up is Modern Escapees, £5 a month. That gets you an extended edition of this episode every week, as well as at least one monthly special and any other specials that we put out. We're currently doing our Hawkeye spoiler cast special, which is going to run throughout the Hawkeye series. And Biggie and Gadget will be back in the new year to finish off the Fast and the Furious saga.
For good.
And yeah, until the 11th one comes out. Obviously.
Yes, bring
And
it
then
on.
the 12th. And then the inevitable 13th and 14th.
Yes.
And forever keeping them in pain.
Yes, it's the last film I want to see before I die, which probably won't be too far away, to be honest. I'd like to watch that on my deathbed.
Well, I'm hoping there's an apocalypse on New Year's Eve, so I don't have to worry about that next year.
And added to Modern Escapees now is basically what we're doing this episode. If you are a patron, you can submit topics to us and we'll put them in the bank and we'll just pick one at random whenever we feel like doing a
random?
Patreon special.
Or do you pick one you like better than the others?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we did this time, yeah.
We're not voting next time, it's just going to be random.
That broke my heart. That ruined the rest of my week. Oh, that punk guy. Prick. SuperNattyCat. Oh, isn't she a fucking delight?
If it makes you feel any better, I actually voted for yours.
He heard it. He did listen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, I'm just saying.
if we had a picked yours, Punk, you wouldn't be on this episode. We'd have Natty Cat on instead. Just
I'd like to see you try and stop me.
He's in now for good. But yes, thank you very much for that, Stig. Is that everything?
I mean, I've not even finished.
Oh.
I've just got sidetracked a bit there.
Yeah,
Second up,
Oodles.
if you like Dungeons and Dragons, we do a D&D player podcast called Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep. £5 a month on the Scorched Sheep tier gets you ad-free early access of the podcast, as well as any artwork that Candy does for it, and any original music, maps, character sheets, and anything else. And you can also suggest item names and NPCs for Gadget to use in the campaign. And the Biggie Bundle, £7.50, that gets you everything.
Literally everything.
There you go. Now I'm done.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So let's just start as we mean to go on. I just want to know what you've all been up to this week. And I want to start with Biggie.
Unfortunately, not an awful lot. I've been mega busy.
It's every week lately for you, that.
Yeah.
Next.
So yeah, I'm still where I have found a bit of time. Nearly finished Kingdom Season 2. Really enjoying that. Played a bit of Mass Effect 1, the remaster. Just little jaunt through that. Very slowly moving through that. Bit of Borderlands. But the one thing I did catch, which I actually didn't put on, but my wife did, and I ended up sitting watching it with her, was this documentary on Netflix called The Show Must Go On, which is about Queen and Adam Lambert.
Yes, I have actually seen this.
And yeah, it's basically a documentary about Queen going back on the road after the original tour, which I think was called Return of the Champions.
Yeah, they did it with Paul Rogers or something, didn't they?
That's right. Which they did for quite a few years, and then it wasn't like a permanent member of the band, so he dropped out when he didn't want to go on a tour. You know, it's all what's the word I'm looking for? They all get on really well, so it wasn't a
Amicably.
problem. Amicably, thank you. So they were looking for a replacement, and for those that saw Adam Lambert's journey through American Idol, they actually performed together in one of the finals, I think it was. They actually had Queen on stage doing one of their records, and Adam Lambert and the other guy, who I can't remember, sang together. And they actually were really impressed by Adam Lambert, even back then. And then somebody, they kept in touch, but nothing really happened for a few years. And then once Paul Rogers dropped out, they were thinking of who could replace it. Someone reminded them about Adam Lambert. So they got in touch with him. Adam Lambert, who has had a bit of a difficult solo career, literally just after I don't know for those that watch any of those shows like Britain's Got Talent, X Factor, etc. That if you are successful, you end up sort of doing a tour on behalf of
you're contracted to it, aren't you?
Yeah, for at least a year. So he off went promoting himself, doing his solo career. It was doing okay until he did a live performance, did a few risque things on his live performance, which didn't go down too well with the audience. He
never did a helicopter on stage.
He snogged a bloke on stage, didn't he?
Well,
And
on top of that,
like
he also imitated doing fellatio on one of the guitarists as well.
We've been doing that for years in Britain.
We've all been.
We're doing it now. But he then surprisingly everyone kicked off because he hadn't actually come out and said that he was gay.
Yeah, because apparently you have to now, don't you?
You have to tell people. And he was it's really funny actually because during one of the headshots with him, he's doing a chat and he said that, you know, what you couldn't tell.
Yeah, he wasn't even hiding it, was he, bless him?
No. But obviously, yeah, he had a bit of an issue with that. So once that had died down, he then did actually have a bit of a solo career for a year or so. But then, yeah, this sort of perfect timing, and he ended up agreeing to, you know, do a session with Queen, see how it went. They ended up going on tour, and it's been a massive success. And some of the footage of him on stage, I mean, obviously no one is ever going to be Freddie Mercury. No one ever could be. But his performance, the way he honours Freddie, the way that he puts his own stance on it, but obviously still singing the songs, but his performances are so good. And there was actually quite a touching point where there was a shooting, I think it was in Las Vegas in 2017, where a guy shot into the crowd at some concert.
Yeah.
While this was going on, they were performing in the Isle of Wight.
Mm-hmm.
So he dedicated, for me, one of Queen's greatest songs, which is Who Wants to Live Forever. And when he did that performance, it literally is just incredible. They show a lot of that performance on the documentary, and even Brian May and Roger Taylor were looking at this guy like, fucking hell, this is incredible. This is better than when Freddie sang it. And they were just saying it's incredible. And yeah, his performance, he is quite camp and over the top, which is kind of mimicking what Freddie does, and you've got that really nice sort of campness on stage. And it's great. It's just really nice. I've never minded Queen. I quite like their music. But yeah, just seeing that just made me think I'd actually want to see that show. And if they do tour, then I recommend people should go and check it out because it looks like fantastic.
I'm sure tickets will be cheap.
Yeah. But they literally went everywhere. They've been to Europe, America, Asia, managed to perform in China as well, which is quite unusual. But yeah, it's the documentary is nothing special. It's interesting to watch, but I just thought the story was quite fascinating and really impressed. And I quite liked Adam Lambert after that. I didn't know much about him beforehand, but I had a bit more of a respect for him as an artist.
Yeah,
and that was it for me.
Yeah, I think he's got a good set of pipes on him. But yeah, thank you very much.
I just I don't know what it is. I always would have loved to have seen Queen. I was a little bit obviously too young by the time when Freddie died, but I just feel like it was a tribute act at this point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I know it'd still be like 3 members of the original band. But...
Yeah,
well, 2 members. Because John Deacon left, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, John Deacon, exactly, 2 members as well, and.
They could have Weekend at Burned him for a few years, couldn't they?
Yeah, I just don't think I'd
holograms now. We don't need to do that.
Yeah. Tupac's been touring for years.
They did do a hologram actually.
Yeah, they have done that. Yeah,
they did do that with Queen with Freddie.
I mean, I was lucky to see
they
Live
could have
Aid.
got Tupac on with Queen.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
Biggie definitely would have went.
Yeah. Well, I was
probably
lucky
saw
to see
Queen. He was probably there at Live Aid at 21 years old.
I saw it live on TV. I wish I was there. But,
How old were you? About 21?
Shut up. But yeah, just Freddie Mercury's incredible, man. Just what an incredible artist.
Must be a difficult role to do. It's a fine line between tribute and rip-off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And I think Adam
right.
Lambert does it. I generally think he has, and I don't know if there's an actual footage, like a.
They still
DVD,
tour
the actual
as
show,
Queen
but-
featuring Adam Lambert, though, don't
Yes,
they?
yes.
A full member of the band.
And they never will be. I mean, they did
No.
mention briefly that they may record some original material, but then I think they tend to
They
always say
never
those
will.
sort of things. Yeah, but it's definitely people can come in and out of that band. I think it's literally, like you say, the remaining members of Queen and whoever performs with them. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you. So, if you can survive, Candy, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I'm hanging in there. I've been watching a bit of.
You look like you're about to pass out a minute
You
ago.
have been a very animated little square there.
No, it's because I keep reaching for my drink and everything.
I also find it's, and I know that you're muting the Zoom call, so we can't hear any of your things, but it's still in the edit. It's
I
still
know. I'm
in
so
there.
sorry. It's going to be disgusting.
I might just leave it in.
Leave it
That's
in.
the Easter egg. Just all candy
Yeah,
sick
literally,
noises.
Yeah,
just leave
back
it in
to
for
back.
the patrons version, so we'll not cut that bit out.
I'm sorry. It's going to be really horrible. But yeah, I've been watching a bit of anime this week.
Yeah,
so
weeb.
yeah, I have been
Pervert.
full on weebing. One of my customers asked me to do a Tokyo Ghoul tattoo on them. So I thought I'd do a little bit of research. Yeah, so it's Tokyo Ghoul's an anime based on the manga by Sui Ishida. Same names.
Nailed
comic. Yep. The story follows Kaneki, a college student from Tokyo, and now in this version of Tokyo, ghouls roam the streets. They're like human-looking monsters that need to eat human flesh to survive. So essentially,
like
kind of
Yorkshire.
like exactly like Yorkshire. So
See one right now.
Yorkshire vampires. Each ghoul has their own unique kagane, which is it's kind of like an organ that comes from within their body, and it kind of serves as a weapon essentially.
It's cooler than it sounds.
It is. It's super
I know, but
cool.
you know where
I'm
my
not doing
mind
it
straight
justice
goes
at all.
Here's my organ.
Yeah, I'm not talking about a big old wanger coming out and hitting people.
It'd be powerful.
Although that would be good.
Meaty truncheon.
I've seen stranger animes as well, weirdly.
I fucking have.
So following his first date with a girl that he fancies, Kaneki agrees to walk her home because she's frightened of the sort of recent increase of ghoul attacks, and it turns out to be a trap. She's actually a ghoul herself, and she's lured him away to attack him. And by a freak accident, some like construction equipment lands on the pair of them, killing the female ghoul and requiring Kaneki to have immediate organ transplants. Not knowing that the hospital was a ghoul, and I'm sure this is not allowed in real life, but the hospital just straight up transplanted her organs into Kaneki. So it's kind of like
I'm
a
sure
half
there's
ghoul.
waivers you've got to sign.
You would think, wouldn't you? But maybe not in this version of Tokyo. So yeah, he's like a half human, half ghoul, and there's a few subplots. But the first season, essentially, it's the first season I've watched. I've just moved on to the second season. But the first season focuses on Kaneki dealing with being a ghoul and having to eat people to survive. So yeah, I've been a little bit hit and miss on anime recently. I think because so much is so easily available at the moment, it's easy to kind of slip into the shitter side of animes.
Oh, there's some
whereas...
fucking trash out there, trust me.
Like Cowboy Bebop.
Whoa!
Whoa. That's another story for another day, my friend.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is incredible. Shut up.
Do you know what? I watched
It's
one
got a
called
good
No
theme.
Game, No Life, and it
That's
was
got
the
a good
worst
theme.
thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
It
come
was-
on. Just enjoy
No.
it.
Oh no. But yeah, I think it's because like before you actually had to used to travel to a big city and go to an HMV where they'd only stock the better animes, wouldn't they? And now they're just throwing it all out there.
You could only get like Ninja Scroll and Dragon Ball back in the day.
I used to find it
Oh
really
no,
difficult
you could get
to
some
find
dodgy
Dragon Ball.
ones.
Yeah.
Overfiend.
Legend of the Overfiend, like
Yeah.
you said.
I got one called Perfect Blue. Holy shit!
Yeah.
If you
That's
haven't
what's really
seen
I've
good,
seen
that,
isn't it?
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
hard watch.
It's on my list. No, there's a guy that used to live in our village, and he was like 13, 14. His parents were just buying him these 18 rated mangas.
Because it was
And like I
cartoons.
say, he had all 4 Yuri Soccer dojus, and if you know what happens
Yeah.
in them,
speaking of penis monsters,
Jeez.
Yeah.
Woo.
his parents clearly had no idea.
I wonder what
but
he's
yeah.
like now.
Oh, he's fine. He's in a safe place. Tokyo Ghoul, it was a pleasant surprise, really, compared to some of the ones we just mentioned. They're nice bite-sized episodes, about 20 minutes, so I've just been watching them in the morning before I go to work and then before I go to bed, which has been about 7 o'clock in the evenings this week. The art style's cool. It's standard anime art, but you've probably seen like there's quite a distinctive like picture of the main character's face where it's like a half mask with the one black eye. That's super cool.
Mhm.
I do think you'll probably recognise a few of the standard anime character stereotypes, but it's fine. You're always going to get that in anime. I think it hasn't really I don't think anime's been pushing any particular boundaries as much as manga has in the last 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, manga, the books, they've started to broached some really good topics, but anime, no.
It hasn't quite caught up yet.
Not yet.
But yeah, I had planned on doing a lot more this week. They were actually showing The Matrix in 4K at my local cinema. I was going to go this weekend. But
Oh, that sounds
I thought I
good.
wouldn't share my gems with people.
Very kind and considerate of you there.
That was the only decent Matrix sequels, that anime one.
The Animatrix.
Mm,
It depends which, because they were like loads of short stories, weren't it?
yeah.
Excellent.
That's it.
Is that all
That's
you've done
my
this week?
Yep, afraid so.
Stig?
Speaking of Cowboy Bebop, I've been watching that this last couple of weeks.
Which Cowboy Bebop?
The original, the cartoon
Good.
version, because I wanted to watch that before trying the live action. So it's just been my stick on when I've got 20 minutes, half an hour spare kind of thing. Or when I'm eating dinner and the kids are watching some shite on YouTube, I'll stick that on.
Island Boys.
Daddy's going to watch his cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girls, let Daddy watch his cartoons. Be quiet.
We want to
Pretty
watch the
much.
news.
Current affairs.
They watch some terrible stuff on that. Anyway, yeah, so I've watched a couple of films this week. Actually had quite a jam-packed week again, especially on the old films front. First one I want to talk about is Spencer, directed by Pablo Larraín and starring Kristen Stewart. This is the new Diana film.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
So this covers a critical weekend in the early 90s when Princess Diana decided her marriage to Prince Charles wasn't working and that she needed to veer from a path that put her in line to one day be queen. It's very good in a sense that her performance and the score kind of take you through the film. Not a lot happens. It is just kind of them away for the weekend and she's just feeling the pressure of being in part of the royal family. Like, it's just weighing depth, like, further and further on her. So when she gets there, there's all these, like, traditions and stuff they have to do. And she's just like, why do we have to keep doing these traditions? They're really stupid and outdated. And it starts to play out like a horror film. So, like, these...
Being chased by the Queen.
Honestly,
Charlie's here.
Oh, no, that's awful. Oh, God.
Andrew turns up.
His ears twitching.
Oi!
Oh, just imagine the Queen just smashing down the bathroom door with an axe. Hello, dear.
Oh. Corgi's chasing
No,
him.
there is a scene though at a dinner table where she's just feeling like the score is just building and building. So the score is by Johnny Greenwood, and he's using a lot of piano and violins in this, and it starts out kind of slow and just like a nice piece of music. Then it just builds and builds and builds until it hits those kind of like horror notes and tones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really over like powering as well. But there's this scene at the dinner table where the Queen is literally just watching her eat, and it's just like having the, you know, like, can you imagine just the Queen is watching you and she can't do anything right. And it's her performance, yeah, is really good. And at first when it started, she started speaking, I was like, oh, this just sounds a bit like
Musical?
someone putting on a posh English accent. So I paused it for a second and went and looked at a quick Diana interview just to see.
What's your posh?
No, but Kristen Stewart absolutely nails everything. The voice, the mannerisms, the looks, the way she moves. She's absolutely nailed Diana. And that's why she kind of carries this through. Not like that.
I thought the one in The Crown was really good. I can't think of her name, but I thought she was really good.
the really young girl, yeah. She were good.
Yeah, but I mean, I know this film's not going to be for everyone. I just kind of wanted to watch it. There was a bit of buzz about her performance. I wasn't really interested originally when they said it was coming out or anything, but yeah, it was very good.
Cool.
But the other main film I want to talk about was King Richard.
King Richard, yes, yes, go for it.
So King Richard is the story of Richard Williams, who is the father of Venus and Serena Williams, and this tells the story of how he managed to take them from Compton into basically being the two biggest female tennis stars and sports stars potentially there ever has been.
Giants, man.
And originally when this was announced, so this story stars Will Smith in the lead role, and when this was announced, I kind of disliked the idea that we've got two of these great female tennis stars and we're going to do a film about their dad.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
But having watched the film, I can completely see why it's done from his perspective, and I think it works really, really well. This does have a lot of Venus and Serena in it anyway. So it is telling a lot of their story and how they went from being young girls into... It basically ends with Venus's first pro match.
Oh.
So it kind of tells that story of them finally getting to the pro circuit. But Will Smith is fantastic in this.
Oh, he's back to being good again then.
Yeah, it's been a lot of buzz about potential Oscar buzz for this, and I can see where it's coming from.
Really?
I think the last good film that he really acted well in was Pursuit of Happiness. It feels like he just needs to sack off all the shite action films and focus on doing these kind of films.
I like £7. Was that after or before Pursuit of
I
Happiness?
fucking hated £7.
You just didn't understand it.
It's not that I didn't understand it. I just found it boring as shit.
Oh, wow.
So I take it he doesn't get jiggy with it. He doesn't do the theme for it and all that rubbish.
No, unfortunately not. No, Beyonce does the music for it. So.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's you watch the film and you could quite easily see this as a story of an overbearing, pushy, potentially abusive parent. But that's not how I came away from it. Like, in real life, things might have been a bit different, but it's a film. They're always going to sugarcoat it to make him probably seem less harsh than he was in real life. But yeah, he pushed them hard, but he also made sure that they were well educated. I think at one point he says Venus can speak 4 languages by the time she's 14. He wanted them to enjoy their childhoods as well. So at one point he just completely pulls them out of the tennis thing to just go and enjoy their lives, takes them to Disneyland, and just said, no, they need to have a childhood as well.
Wow.
So he was very determined to make sure that they're the greatest. And he truly believes they're the greatest as well. He says from the start, like, no one is better than these. These will be the greatest female stars of all time. And right at the beginning, he's going around trying to get sponsorship and training from all these coaches. And they just see this black man with two girls from the rough side of LA. And it's just like, they're not interested. Do you know what I mean? Tennis is a white man's game. It's a expensive, posh sport. And they're not interested. And he's just like, well, it's your loss. Like, from the start, he's knows that they're going to be like the best there is.
It went wrong, worry.
No, and he's right.
And they've played each other as well, haven't they? I mean,
God,
imagine
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think I was listening to a story in another podcast about them actually recently, and Serena's first pro match, she had to face Venus.
Yeah.
And knocked her out. But they've played together in doubles as well, so they've got the most double titles ever. And obviously, we all know Serena's got the most Grand Slam titles. So, yeah, he wasn't wrong. Whatever he did, whether he might have pushed him a bit too hard, whether people thought that he was maybe being abusive in that sense.
I wish I were pushed more as a youth.
Yeah, it's paid off, and they obviously hold no...
That would have been easier.
They obviously hold no ill will against him. He's still their coach, has been throughout their life. So even when they've got to adults, they've obviously respected him and his techniques. But in terms of the film, the family dynamic is really well. It's all really well acted. Both him and his wife, the actress, and I don't know her name, sorry, but she's really good in it. John Berthol comes in as one of the coaches about halfway through. He's really good, sporting a nice mustache. So yeah, it's all well portrayed, and it's you're watching the story of the 2 greatest women of ever in the tennis game, and I think that telling it from his perspective was a good idea because he did a lot behind the scenes that just showing a film about them probably wouldn't have, paid it justice about actually how they got there and how they did things. I thought it was important as well that they didn't stray away from his bad past. That gets mentioned about how he kind of ditched his other family and stuff like that. So he's not painted in just perfect light. He actually does have a bit of a shitty past, and that's brought up, which I think was well done. The tennis matches are really well done in it as well, so much so that it feels like you're watching tennis at times. You actually get a little bit interested and invested in it, even though you kind of know where the outcome in it. But yeah, really great film. I really enjoyed it. Went into my top 10 of the year.
Wow.
So I definitely feel like there's going to be some Oscar buzz on this.
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
both those films are, because they're both Oscar bait films.
Has Will Smith won an Oscar?
Completely. No, he got nominated.
Yeah, for Wild Wild West.
Yeah. Oh,
I think he might have got a Razzie for that one.
He might get one then. He might get his first. That'd be nice to see.
Yeah. I could see it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Punk, what have you been up to?
I have been watching a little show called Mr. Inbetween, if anybody's seen it.
I have seen clips of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to talk about it because, thankfully, I don't do a weekly roundup, so I can pluck something from the past.
Yeah.
I don't have to be current. But I found out what should be the last season, the third and final, came out during the summer, and I had missed it completely.
Oh.
And the whole collection is on Disney Plus now, whereas it was only on Pirate Bay beforehand. So, yeah, I got caught up in the third series of that. If anybody knows me in any way at all, I enjoy comedy, but I only enjoy black comedy. You know, the meaner the better.
Yeah.
And Mr. Inbetween is quite a mean comedy. It's got a lot of bite to it.
I don't know anything about it. Who's in it?
It's an Australian-based.
Scott Ryan Ray, he's the main one.
They're all Australian cast. He made a short movie called The Magician, and it's basically the same character from that, but they've made a series out of it now from that. I went in completely blind. You know when you watch a comedy and you're not sure how rooted in reality it is? And it takes a couple of episodes to get a feel. This kind of plays on that, where you're not sure. There's some slapstick moments with some harrowing scenes, and you're just sitting there scratching your head going, was that supposed to be funny? Or is something wrong? So, the main character is called Ray Shoesmith. He's a bouncer at a club, but he also dabbles in a bit of assassination part-time. So,
As you do.
that old cliche.
Like your time on the boats there, Biggie.
Yes.
He took care of problems, okay? There's no shame in that. So the Ray is a recent divorcee, so his daughter, his ex-wife, play a part in it. He's a horrible bastard. He really is. There's no other way of putting it. But he's sweet to go with it. Which is, again, cliche, the arsehole with the heart of gold. We all model ourselves after that. But yeah, it really goes into it. If anybody's ever had any experience with anger problems, how they handle it in this show, there is a scene, I think it could be the first episode, where a couple of thugs walk into his daughter and knock over her ice cream. And how you would react in that situation is by caving the head in.
Mm-hmm.
You would like
Actually.
to. But no, he walks the daughter away to the car. No, sorry about that. But eventually he does. He goes back round a little while later and looks for them.
Ah.
Yeah. His anger, it costs him a lot during the show. He knows better. He's an intelligent guy. He knows he shouldn't do it. But when the blood's up, what can you do?
Is he angrier than Adam Sandler in all his films?
He's more genuine than Adam Sandler.
Perfect.
And he is one of those people. I used to do a bit of bouncing back in the day when I was fit for it. If you ever get into a situation with somebody and they smile at you, it's
yeah.
Oh.
Because they want it, don't they? They want it.
Yeah.
They really do. They know what's happening.
So, not to trip, I'm just literally having a quick look at the trailer, like where you talk, just to see, because you go on IMDb and the first image is him holding an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
They start behind it. And yet,
It
in the
builds the
trailer, he
character.
literally smiles at somebody and then just pushes them over like a balcony or down off some stairs.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So that's the sort of guy he is.
Yep.
It's such an interesting show. Again, I couldn't get a handle on it for the first few episodes, but once you're in that far, you're in it. Like, you could binge the first series in a sitting. You get that involved. Probably wouldn't be healthy, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I won't mention, because if anybody has watched, they'll be saying, oh, that Irish cunt he hasn't mentioned Brittany, his brother Bruce, there's Freddie, there's Gary, all great characters, and to give away any of it, it would be spoiling the experience.
No, that's fair enough.
If you do like your comedy with a bit of bite, it's really worth checking out. And as I said, it's all on Disney Plus now, so no VPN required.
Yes, everyone's got Disney Plus. There's no deniers.
That's where all the
What,
cool
only-
stuff is.
It is. It really is.
Only 30 minutes as well each episode.
Oh,
by the
you've
looks of it,
sold
so-
me. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I came across the British Office when that first aired by accident. I was channel surfing and didn't know what to watch, and literally came into probably like just after the credits had started, gone into that, And it just took me a moment to work out, is this a fucking documentary or is this a mockumentary? And it's just when you catch something like that, you just have to give it a moment before it sinks in. You're like,
mate,
okay,
I did that with Brass Eye. I did that with Brass Eye on the paedophile episode. That was difficult. I'm like, what's happening? Oh no.
Using pigeon calls.
Yeah. Excellent. Is that all you've done this? Well, you've probably done more this week. But
No, of course I've done more. As I give Oodles a little warning because this bit is a bit paid promotion, and I thought you'd be freaking out.
No, just do it.
Biggie, you're a man for emulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not as good as the hardware, original hardware, normally. So I treated myself. I was trying to get my Game Boy Advance with a backlit screen. Because if anybody's ever played the original console, it doesn't have a backlit screen, and it's probably the reason I need glasses now. So I've tried to get a backlit screen on it, which I could do. Not brilliant. I then tried to add a rechargeable battery because fuck double A's. That didn't go well either. It just turns out, I'm too drunk to do these sort of things. So I went to a website called retro6.co.uk, and they fitted me with a new Game Boy Advance. It's my original one.
Oh,
But yes, rechargeable battery. We'll get the clicky finger.
Oh.
So, but
Nice.
the best bit of it is,
Fuck, that is bright.
yeah, it
For
is serious
listeners,
bright.
for listeners, I'm getting a tan, and I never get a tan.
So, yeah, you send in your original model because the SP does all the backlit screen and everything, but it's just not fun to hold.
No, it's not. Oh, no, the SP's awful. And the micro, the micro that they did that. Oh, that's awful to hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had an SP.
So, because with a recent episode I did in Pokemon, I got the itch to play Pokemon Red again.
Oh,
And,
so good.
Sent it off, got it done, got it sent back. I've been loving life. Got myself a Poliwhirl. Things are finally looking up for Punk.
What more do you need?
Oh, so much. But the funny thing about it is, if you go to retro6.co.uk and at the checkout, if you use the code
Are they paying you?
Deadbeatpunk in
Do
all
it.
capitals, you'll get fuck all.
Yes. You'll get dirty looks.
I just want people to try that.
Oh, please. I wish someone did it and paused it just as you said it. Oh.
We have to find this deadbeat punk guy.
Excellent.
Not getting the urge to fuck the Pokemon like your guests on that week, are you, though?
I think
Oh,
they only
no.
wanted to fuck one. As a Ditto was getting a lot of attention. Tell you, everybody was talking about Ben, him and his Misty and Shorts material.
Yeah.
Creepy Welsh bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Dittos are like malleable, aren't they? So I get it. I get it.
Well, yeah, they have that kind of false sex toy appeal,
Yeah.
but they can shapeshift anything you want to. It'll use your imagination.
Oh, don't.
You can literally go fuck yourself.
Oh. Right, let me just compose myself after that image. Oof. Right, so this week I have been playing computer games, which is
You shock me.
it's rare for me, that.
All of them.
All of them. I've completed
All of the
all the games. No,
Completed
I've
Game
got.
Pass.
I've gone back to 2 games I've already played, to an nth degree, not Dragon Quest. I've been playing them simultaneously one on the PS4, one on the Switch. Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World. I mainly did it for Rise because, and then I'm going to say it now. I think it's my game of the year. I just there's something about it on that handheld that just on the Switch it just works. The battles aren't as long as they are on the Big Daddy game on World. It's just
That
nice.
almost works in its favour.
Yeah,
Makes
it's
it
like
a lot more snappy.
it's quick. It's pacey. It's I don't know. I think it's only Punk that's played it here, isn't there? If Gadget was here, he'd be like, "Oh yeah!" He loves it as well.
You can hear the echo from Scotland.
Yeah. it's just for me. It is an exclusive for the. No, it's on the PC as well, isn't it?
It's coming to the PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Rise is the superior game over World, but World is so beautiful because it's been updated and it's got some graphic mode options now.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's just the PS5 version, but having it at a complete set 60 frames per second just absolutely changes the game on that because that game chugged on the PS4. Fuck.
The loading screens as well really
Yeah.
benefited from the SSD.
Absolutely. I wish the loading screens were a bit quicker on Rise. Because
Although,
yeah.
on the Switch.
Yeah, it's the Switch's issue. But they are just absolutely stunning games. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I already have on this. But if you don't know what they are, the Monster Hunter franchise is fucking hell, it's been going since PlayStation 2. And it literally, it doesn't bury the lead with its name at all. You hunt monsters. Dinosaurs mainly. Or penis dragons. There's some horrendous looking creatures on that. You hunt them and you use their bits and bobs to fashion armor and weapons, and that is loot.
Or bigger penises.
Yeah, but the loot
Penis
is
gun.
satisfying. It's got the thing that this action.
Let's cock it.
It's got what I like in action RPGs, where it's got multiple builds that you can have. It's got loads of weapons that you get straight away. You don't have to unlock them, and you pick what kind of style you want. And for the first time and I've played every game in the series, for the first time I've gone for ranged. I've gone for the heavy bow gun, which is basically like a machine gun. And it's a completely different game. And it's just so much fucking fun. Both of them. I'm basically playing the same character on both games, which I know I'm insane. We all know that. But I don't know, there's something nice about it. It's freezing outside. It's a terrible time to be alive because Christmas is coming. And yeah, this is just making me feel good. Just hunting monsters. It's just
Taking all your frustrations out in poor beasts.
Yeah, if you've never played it as well, I think Rise is going pretty cheap at Currys and places like that. I'm pretty sure I've seen it at 30 quid, which is an absolute steal.
Even Monster World is always in the sales these days as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think World's the more accessible one, in a way. I think it tutorializes the game a lot easier for people that have never played it before. It was kind of a soft reboot anyway. So yeah, pick up the cheaper one. It's probably pence on Steam. I have no idea. But yeah, there's just really good games. Just you can get into the story, but I've played them both twice and I still don't know the story. Something's happening and you've got to stop it happening. Basically.
By hunting monsters.
Yeah, by hunting monsters. And yeah, it's just so good. I could go into more depth, but I'm not going to waste your time. But yeah, Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World, they are absolute bangers. Just please play it. I definitely do think Rise is my game of the year. I think it's just flawless. And as you all know, I'm a big Switch fan, and anything I can play while I'm on the toilet, it's a win, isn't it? So that's what we've been doing this week. Right then, let's just get on with this. This could be a long, long topic, this one. What are we doing this week, Biggie?
Our main topic this week has been suggested by one of our patrons. It's SuperNattyCat, as voted by us. She sent in, the topic I'd love for you to cover is, if you could be the hero or villain in any film, book, TV show, game for one day, who would you choose and why? And not just, he can fly, or because he's mint. No cop-out bullshit. Rules are, you have to accept all the powers, attributes, and environments the character is in. Unless, of course, you want to be the character so you can change their story path for the better or worse if you're an evil bastard. And it's for one day only.
Excellent. Yes, it's our first executive producer main topic, so thank you very much. We will be having more, won't we, Punk?
We'd fucking better.
But yeah, I'm really...
Can I just ask a quick question on this?
Yeah.
Are we meant to be transferring our consciousness into the body of this hero or villain?
That's how I assumed.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's how I assumed it as well. It wasn't that we all of a sudden we were...
You look like you, but you've got their powers.
Yeah.
I assumed we were them.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't really matter either way. We can still have fun with it. This is not school, Stig. Right. So let's just crack on. I'm absolutely keen to hear what Candy has got for her pick.
Well, I thought, why be good when you can be bad?
I knew this.
And I'm going to go with Maleficent. Now, none of that Flangelina Jolie shit. I'm talking about the proper original animated Disney type stuff. And I'm going to talk about why I like her and then what I would do if I was her. I just love that everything in Sleeping Beauty was kind of came down to the fact that she got the hump about not being invited to a party. Like, I can feel like that's something that I can vibe with.
We've all been there.
I get the hump easily, so I'm already sort of halfway there. So firstly, like, this is her first good power that I'm into. She never opens doors. No, doors fly open before her. So surrounded by lightning, green flames, and that might be annoying over time, but I only have to be her for a day. So you better believe doors will be flying left, right, and centre. Even when I'm just going to the toilet, doors be banging open.
I don't know if you're aware, but if you like going to Tesco and stuff, the doors open fire as well.
Not with lightning and
straight
green
for the freezer aisle.
flames. Poof! I'm in Tesco's. Her best pal's a crow.
Yes.
Again, another winner. And they live together in a huge castle on top of a mountain with an army of goblins at their command. Which, to be honest, I'd maybe get rid of the goblins. Just me and the crow on top
What's
of the
wrong with
castle would be
goblins?
fine. Not a fan, really. Like
They're
little.
not as good as trolls.
Yeah, I'm more of a troll gal myself. She's got absolutely no time for sycophantic good fairies or simpering subjects or the over-the-top happy kingdom. And as I said before, she just threw an absolute wobbler that she wasn't invited to the baby's party, even though she hates everyone, I'll add.
And she probably doesn't even like babies, does she?
She definitely doesn't like babies,
They would have
as
kicked off
is
if she was
evidence in
invited.
what happens next. But so she just flat out puts an oddly specific curse on the baby.
the
Again,
best
something
kind.
we can all relate to. Yeah, exactly. Now, if you can't remember what the curse was, it's that if Princess Aurora ever pricks her finger on the needle of a spinning wheel, she'd be put into an eternal sleep until she had a kiss from her one true love. And if she wasn't kissed before her 16th birthday, she'd die.
I'd love to get that curse put on me because I've never sewed in my life. Do you know what I mean? I've never done it. Not asked.
And yeah,
Kiss
you
a
would think
prince
it's...
before you were 16?
Yeah. Loads.
I haven't. I mean, you think it would be quite difficult to walk into a spinning wheel as well. I don't think those things are small.
No, they're not. You sit down on them for fuck's sake.
Oh, I probably would, actually. That's something that I would do.
Oh no, I've accidentally tripped over, then sat down. Right
If I
in front of the
recall
wheel.
in the film, wasn't there just a room full of them?
Yeah, they burn them all. But then but Maleficent puts her into a trance and sends her up to a magical spinning wheel anyway. So,
That's it.
like, it's all a
It's
bit
a bit of a cheat.
That's a proper
Exactly.
cop out,
complete cheat, which is another good point. I like her. She has a kick-ass gown and headdress. I'd rock the old dragon horns. She absolutely pisses herself at her own jokes as well. She just absolutely has a fucking whale of a time making people miserable. Proper sarcastic bitch. When she's got Prince Philip trapped in the tower, she tells him she'll let him out to give his one true
Is he
love.
called
her-
Prince Philip?
Prince Philip, yep.
What?
You know,
Fucking hell.
fucking waiting on him.
Could have been worse. We won't talk about that.
Hello.
So she says she will let him out eventually to give Aurora her true love's kiss. She's still 16, but she shows him an image while she's torturing
I
him.
bet Prince Philip's not 16, is he?
But yeah.
16
He's
feet
all-
in cement.
Anyway, so if I was her for a day, I would just walk around, blowing doors open and giving people oddly specific curses. And I've come up with a few curses in preparation.
Oh, of course you have.
So
Can you not do them verbatim just in case they actually happen? Can you
No.
like paraphrase them a little bit? These curses.
No.
I just don't want to be cursed, Candy.
This is just 3 of many, many curses I have up my sleeve. So you're not getting the whole, you're not getting the full picture, but just a snippet. So if I, Maleficent, was in a queue in a coffee shop after blowing the doors open, and I had my eye on a French fancy, but there was only one left, and the person in front of me got it before me, I'd make sure that every door they ever went through, the security alarm would go off. And the curse would only be lifted when their dog picked up a magical shell at a specific beach.
What
Wow.
the fuck?
Yep.
That's
Try getting out
dark.
that one.
That's dark.
Yep.
that.
So the second one. If the Wi-Fi in my mountaintop castle went out through no fault of my own, and TalkTalk told me to turn the router off and on again for 10 seconds and it didn't work, I cursed the technician so that they'd have to say, "Please leave me a good review," after every sentence. So the curse could only be lifted once the tech tried on a magical trainer in ye olde JG Sports on a full moon.
Closes at 7 o'clock and all.
Exactly.
Fucked.
Exactly. I'm always thinking as Maleficent, you see.
You'd only be able to get there on late night shopping.
Yeah, late night shopping, Christmas.
It's still not
It's
open
just
at
running,
midnight.
just driving to and from every JD spot.
Please,
You'd have to get the specific trainer too.
I want these Diodoras.
And then my final curse. If I only had my witch's lunch break to go out and get some new keys cut, and I got there and the key cutting shop and cobbler said closed for an hour for lunch, I'd put a spell on all the shoes in his shop to follow him around kicking him. and the curse can only be lifted by chanting the words of Toto's Africa to the homeless person that lives under a bridge, but is actually a fairy in disguise.
Like at Timpson's.
Yeah, exactly.
That last
Okay,
one
keys cut and
felt
your shoes done.
terribly personal.
That's like, has this happened to you?
Yeah.
I may be pulling from real life, I'm not saying.
I mean, working class people need lunch. Stop being horrible, you
Well,
witch.
I'm just saying what I do.
Or skinny locksmith.
I know. All in a day.
You should have brought a packed lunch. You can nibble on the go.
Can't eat at the office.
I'm Maleficent, for fuck's sake. I do what I want.
I don't. Why do you
You
want
bust
a key?
open doors.
Yeah, why do you want a key when your door's open anyway? You haven't thought
Well,
this
it didn't-
through.
Well, yeah,
It could have been a gift. You know them posh keys when you put fancy patterns on them for people. Yeah. I see.
exactly.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
absolutely. So yeah, that's what I'd do if I was Maleficent for the day.
What about your weakness? What's the weakness?
The jazz one.
Oh, she
Babies.
dies.
Pastries.
She dies at the end. She turns into a fucking dragon.
I think she just gets a bit stabbed. Yeah, well, that's
A bit
another thing. She does
stabbed.
turn into a fucking dragon. That's cool too.
Being stabbed is my weakness.
We've got a
Minus-
show title. A bit stabbed.
Minor stabbing happens.
Oh no, knives my weakness. Oh,
I think her weakness is being left out of parties, isn't it? Obviously,
Yeah.
like that's her Achilles heel.
Yeah, I kind of relate to that in a way. So yeah, that's a fucking solid pick. Biggie.
So, I gave it quite a bit of thought around the sort of superhero theme. I was obviously going to go for someone in the X-Men. And then I thought I'd just go something a little left field, a little bit different, as we had a wonderful discussion this afternoon about what we were picking.
Yep.
So I decided to go for Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon.
Known superhero Bruce Lee.
Well, it doesn't
Stick a
specifically
cape on him.
say that.
Doesn't
does
say superhero.
Okay.
Read the remit properly.
Yeah. So I chose Lee because I like him. He's a cocky bastard. I mean, if it was me showing off after my first fight, as you see in the movie with Sammo Hung, for those of you that are Jackie Chan fans, I would probably just strut off with my little swagger. But no, Lee backflipped several times before launching in the air and somersaulting over the onlookers. So I've always wanted to have those kind of maneuvers, to look cool, to have the sort of martial art training that Bruce Lee has had. And he is fit as fuck.
Yeah.
By the time Enter the Dragon came out, he was 32, and unfortunately it was his last movie that he did. But in that movie, he has no ounce of fat on him whatsoever. He is completely 100% muscle. It's insane. You can see everything ripple when he's doing any of his maneuvers. So I would end up having my meeting with Braithwaite, the quintessential British agent that discusses that he's got a little proposal for me to go undercover and take part in it's what basically a Street Fighter tournament and investigate Han on his island, who's quite clearly a nutter. I don't think he needed really an awful lot of investigating, to be perfectly honest. But it would have been really cool to show off my skills at this tournament, take out the revenge, and of course, the one person in the whole world who killed my sister, O'Hara, also happens to be the bodyguard of Han, so I can take him out. And then go off investigating. But this time, I'd make sure that one of the coolest dudes to ever grace celluloid, Jim Kelly, survives the interrogation by Han, and that all three of us escape the island after we've taken out all of the guards together. And then I get to twat Mr. Han, the Ham Man, who looks like he's come straight out of a comic book.
Yeah. So rather than going like to Timpson's and attacking a locksmith, you just recreate the film.
Because who wouldn't want to be in that tournament?
I fucking love Enter the Dragon.
Or Bloodsport. As
Oh
well as another one.
yeah.
Just, I've always wanted to be a martial artist, but I never have. And
You
I've
could
always
still be
wanted
one
to
now.
As fit as Bruce Lee was in that movie, and to be in that tournament.
He's got
it just
great
looks
hair as well,
so
hasn't he?
cool.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd also like to have hair.
No, I
But,
didn't mean it like that. That wasn't a dig.
But yeah, Bruce Lee was just so good in that movie. You finally got to see Bruce Lee after all of those films that he did beforehand, which were all fine. but he really got to show off everything that he could pretty much do in that movie, including that infamous nunchucker scene.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
The skills that this guy had, and it's just be amazing. I'd love to have that sort of training, that sort of being one with my body, excuse me. But yeah, I just thought it was incredible, and I'd love to have that sort of performance. And unfortunately, it was his last movie.
Yeah, and you've got that crippling weakness of, was it aspirin?
Food?
Aspirin or something like that killed him in the end.
Allegedly.
So don't take any of the aspirin in that day because you're fucked.
No, there's a lot of conspiracy theories around his death.
Yeah. Very odd.
But yeah, I always just thought he was so cool in that movie. It's one of my favourite movies of all time.
Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the guy that plays Bruce Lee, and he gets thrown into a car by Brad Pitt? I don't believe that had ever fucking happened in a million years.
Nope.
Bruce Lee were
It was a great
machine. scene
nonetheless.
Oh, it's a good scene.
Apparently his family kicked off about that.
Oh, but I never viewed that scene as disrespectful to Bruce Lee.
I didn't either. It was just a bit of fun,
I saw
wasn't it?
that as that was in, I can't remember the character's name now, but that was just how he imagined it. He was like, yeah, I kicked Bruce Lee's ass, of course I did. And it's like, nah, did you fuck?
Unreliable narrator type thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
there is a particular scene in Enter the Dragon, I can't even remember if I talked about this before, where he's in the middle of his fight with Han, and the camera, it's a very quick edit, but they replace Han with, which is basically a body of Han, but Bruce Lee does this sidekick, and it is so fucking fast, but it is not sped up.
He does that double chop flying sidekick, doesn't he? Both legs. On one of them, he does with both legs. Like, I can't even explain it. He just somehow manages to like waggle his legs so fast in midair that he kicks someone like 4 times.
Yeah,
fucking disgusting.
That sidekick that he does, he just hits him so fast, and just it's incredible to watch. I had to rewind that several times because I couldn't believe you could do that in real life. But you can actually see that they clearly put a fake body there to kick. But wow.
Also, a very clever man in general, wasn't he?
Yes,
very
well.
philosophical as well.
But I just thought I could do all that in a day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how long does the film actually take?
About 6 months.
No, not filming the film. You want to go into the film, right?
Hour and a half, isn't it?
Yeah, so
but
it takes place over 2 days.
You know what I meant.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, I think by avoiding what went wrong in that movie, that he gets caught, or nearly gets caught. Sorry.
Yeah, because you know it's coming.
Yeah, so I'd like to think to avoid all that, I can get all that done in a day.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him in Octagon nowadays. If he was at his prime, just in mixed martial arts, just kicking fuck out of everybody. It'd be so fucking
Absolutely.
good.
I would genuinely wonder what would happen in that situation. Whether if
He'd
someone
win.
Like that got into Octagon. It's a completely different style of fighting, though, isn't it? Like, would anyone be able to
pick him
get?
up and bite him?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like.
Well, there was always
would
that.
they even get close to him? Because it's a you never see anyone in an octagon fight like that.
Karate and kung fu and stuff.
Like,
yeah, you don't
yeah,
do
they
it.
don't.
You'd have to be quick though. I mean, Jackie Chan was interviewed, and everybody always said, "Oh, who would win, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, whatever?" And even Jackie Chan said Bruce Lee.
Well, Jackie Chan
Every time.
would fall better. He knows how to fall.
Yeah, but Jackie Chan studied a lot of arts as well as martial arts, so he is a very different fighter to Bruce Lee. But generally, Bruce Lee has the
created his
power
own
and the
art.
speed.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he is just
Jeet
Jeet
Kune
Kune
Do.
Do is just he's insane. He was incredible.
Oh yeah, good pick. Good pick. I'm gonna go now, because I want to. I'm picking Dr. Jonathan Osterman, otherwise known as Dr. Manhattan.
So you can walk around with your big blue dong out.
I mean, yes.
Matches balls.
To match my balls, yeah, absolutely. Marriage. So yeah, I mean, I'll show you guys. That's the list of his powers. I'm not going to read them all out.
No,
I'm going to
read them all out. Read them for the listeners.
He was a tad OP, wasn't he?
Yeah. So from the Watchmen series, DC Comics. So imagine with a snap of your fingers, you could turn water into wine or lead into gold, or if you're truly sinister, you could change oxygen into poison. And there goes the neighborhood. Having the ability to alter the atomic makeup of anything on the planet means that the world would literally be at your disposal. You could create or eliminate anything you wanted. So, basically, Dr. Manhattan is God. A god, not God. If you've seen Watchmen, or if you've read Watchmen, he's the only person in that universe with powers, which absolutely makes his powers seem even more extreme. So if I was Dr. Manhattan, yes, I wouldn't wear clothes because halfway through he just loses touch with humanity, doesn't he? And he just doesn't care anymore. So he's walking around with his dong out. A few scenes, he's making love to his girlfriend because he can split himself into as many versions of himself as he wants. So he's making love to his girlfriend while also deconstructing a nuclear bomb with his mind, and she don't like that.
Oodles wants to fuck himself.
Well, no, I
Again.
don't want to fuck myself.
Yeah, split
Again.
yourself into two. Split yourself into
Oh,
two.
yourself into-
bloodles. I love you, bloodles.
I just
Bloodles.
So you can play Dragon's Quest 11 while playing another game.
I could deconstruct. I couldn't do that in a day, mate. It takes more than 24 hours, even after how many times I've played it. I just like the fact that he never tested his capabilities. I mean, he has got weaknesses. You can destroy him on a molecular level. I think Ozymandias completely eviscerated him in the book. He did come back though, didn't he?
Mhm.
But it didn't last. But you can stop him, but you can't truly kill him. But what I like about it. My favorite thing and what I do is very similar to what he did. He just can't be asked with anyone. I just teleport to Mars that day, and imagine how quiet it is on Mars. It just sounds like heaven. And you,
Be fucked without Wi-Fi.
I don't care about Wi-Fi when I'm omnipotent.
More like
No, the little Martians. I just fucking click my fingers and deconstruct their atoms, mate. Shut up. I don't have to worry about the aftermath of what I've done while I've been in for the day, because I won't be in the next day. I mean, I'm out. My own body might not exist. But yeah, invulnerability, just everything about it. Omnipresence, which is a bit scary, because he's always there on a molecular level. It's frightening, but the thing is, as I said, in the Watchmen series, in that universe, it is a DC book, but it's not in the DC universe. He's the only superpowered being that's existed. If I could become Dr. Manhattan, I'd like to test myself against other well-known comic book heroes like Superman, your big hitters. Bruce Lee, Maleficent.
Dr. Pontefract.
Yeah. I'd look. I don't think they've, and I know comics. I don't think they've ever brought him in to something else. But there are beings, especially in Marvel. You've got galactic beings that could probably just dismantle the solar system. I don't think Dr. Manhattan can do that. So I'd like to see him. What I'd like to do is I'd like to bout these fucking Galactus and stuff like that. And see what I can get away with. That's
Like a galactic Super Smash
So
Brothers.
if you
yeah. Yeah.
if you could go to Mars like that, could you go to as Dr. Manhattan? Could you go to the edge of the universe? Could you go to other
No.
planets and other solar systems?
No, he has got a limit to where he.
Oh,
where
that's
he
a
can
shame
go.
because that'd be a really cool thing to do for the day. Be able to just bounce around the universe and actually see what's out there.
I can't remember which Watchmen volume it was, but in one of them, someone asked him, "Well, could you walk on the surface of the sun?" And he just looks like, "Don't be stupid. There's no surface of the sun." Do you know what I mean? But really, he's in a monologue like, "I can't get that far." Do you know what I mean? You'd have to hop. I suppose you could eventually, couldn't you? But God knows how big the universe is. I don't even understand how time works. Forget space. I've got no idea. I don't know how far things are away. But yeah, Mars is close enough. Could
Funny
do
enough,
that.
there's a nice link with that book and the time as well with the
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, there is. It's just, I just think it's cool. I like the sheer brass balls on the man. He doesn't see himself
Blue
as,
brass balls.
Yeah. He doesn't see himself as a man anymore, and that is his fundamental weakness. He just lack of empathy. He doesn't care. And I suppose if you were an omnipresent, omnipotent being, you wouldn't care, would you? They're just fucking rodents to you, aren't they? Everyone else, But yeah, that's that. I think Dr. Manhattan would be a good one. Plus, I've got a massive ego. And why wouldn't I pick the one superhero that's got the most powers? So, yeah. Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great pick. And a great book. People need to read that.
I need to watch that. HBO, was it HBO that did a series recently?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
do you know what? I haven't seen that. I've seen the movie.
Watchmen.
It's,
Everyone said
it's,
it's really
it's the
good.
sequel to Watchmen, Biggie. You need to watch it.
I enjoyed it up until the end. I thought they did Dr. Manhattan dirty.
Shh. Not spoiling.
It's not a spoiler.
She's pissed off because he didn't have his dong out.
Is that-
No,
Is there not any dong?
No, there's no.
I thought there was a bit of dong.
There was no dong.
Oh, that
that's
must be
why
why.
But
Yeah.
it was Billy Crudup that played him in the film, wasn't it? And he had a big dong.
Oh yeah,
Big blue dong.
3 big dongs at one point.
Yeah. I love that bit when he's making love to his girlfriend. I forget her name in it. What's her name? Whatever. The superhero girl. And it's 3-on-1, isn't it? And his hands are everywhere, and he's got like multiple hands, and he's just pleasuring her. Oh.
And she gets in a piss about it.
Yeah, because he's not concentrating. But yeah, that's...
Well, I'd have enjoyed it.
Oodle's pretending like he wouldn't do the same. I just got to Mars after I'd.
No, one of my consciousnesses will be at Mars, the other wreaking havoc. Orgasms for everyone.
when they try and when anyone tries to say anything, I was on Mars.
I was on Mars. There's satellite footage to prove it. But yeah, Dr. Manhattan, into it. So, Stig.
Well, I struggled with a little bit on this because I thought, could I do what you did as well? Go with someone that's like stupidly overpowered and, have a great time.
24
just
hours,
with
isn't it?
powers all day. Yeah, but it's 24 hours. So instead, I went for the ability to have the funnest and most ridiculous 24 hours I could have.
Oh, okay.
And to do that, I decided that I would choose one of the world's richest men.
Yep.
You mean it's
Who-
Trump?
Elon Musk.
Don't be silly, boys. We're talking heroes here.
Jimmy Carr.
One of-
Got a good
No, I'm
accountant.
talking Anthony Edward Stark,
Mm.
known as Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Because if I had 24 hours and billions of dollars, as well as cool as fuck Iron Man suits,
Great beard.
I could just have an amazing time. I know maybe SuperNattyCat's good. You can't just pick him because they're cool. It's like, but I'm going to pick him because he's cool. The guy is just, he has way more confidence than I ever have, or will ever have. His confidence, his swagger, his ability to hold the room, command attention, and just to be the life and soul of a party. And just, I would love to just do that and just spend a shitload of money and just have an absolutely fucking awesome day.
A
I know
big
that he's
cliffside house on Malibu.
Yeah. And I know that his weaknesses are, he obviously has struggled with alcohol addiction before.
Yep.
But if I'm only having for 24 hours, I feel
Suits you as well.
that probably suits me for 24 hours. Yeah, I'm quite happy to get into all that for 24 hours. And just fucking around with his technology as well. So just imagine being able to just jump in an Iron Man suit
Which one?
and fly around. Any of them.
Oh,
He's got
not
loads.
the first one when he's in Baghdad coming out of the
No,
cave.
not that
Clunky,
one.
isn't it?
Ah, that's awful.
It's just any Iron Man suit that he's created. Like, I know that he blows most of them up in the MCU.
the
but
nano suit's the best.
I'm choosing to believe he's got them. And then he's got the nano suit as well, which can pretty much do anything that
That
he
makes
wants.
him a god. That.
Imagine getting
Yeah,
stuck in
pretty
the
much.
70s one that looks like a bullet.
Oh, yes, that's so good. That one. Imagine that. That's the only one left.
Yeah, so that nano suit, like, he can go to space
Yeah,
in that.
nano suit. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Well,
uses
you
his
can
own
pretty much
in the comics. He uses his own bodily fluids to power it, so you can piss in
Yes.
the suit.
So yeah, I get in the suit. I'm pissed as fuck. So what? I'm gonna be pissing anyway. So I'll just
Pissed
I'll
on
power-
it, man. I like
Don't
this.
drink and
I'll be-
fly.
I'll be powering the suit by my own
I like the thought
piss.
of Oodle sitting on Mars trying to get a quiet minute.
Yeah, and he turns
lands
up.
loaded.
Oh no!
You!
Trying to heat up his kebab with his pulse array.
But I'd hear him like 1,000 miles away, like AC/DC coming through the cosmos.
No, I'd play better music.
Just as you're coming through. Like, oh no, he's here! Oh,
Yeah, and not only that, but I'm just gonna put a little endgame spoiler in here, so maybe skip a
Waxen.
minute or so.
Look out, Kurt.
He's mastered time travel. So if I wanted to, I could stay in this day for as long as I wanted to, or I could go
that's
back in time
fucking
and do
clever,
things.
mate. That's clever. You thought about it.
Yep. Yeah, so with his time travel, he could go back to the past and do whatever he wants to, go in the future, go wherever he wants, and I could relive the day and fuck something up there, I'll just do that again. And yeah, so his ability to not only have, he's rich as fuck, he's cool as fuck, he's got awesome tech, and he can time travel.
He's got a terrible weakness, though, that you're just not talking about. He's married to Gwyneth Paltrow.
He's well in my version, he hasn't got with her yet. So, oh no, he has.
Yeah,
at this point,
if you can do time travel, he's got with her, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, but
You've got gloop all over the house or whatever.
This is me in his life.
Vagina candles everywhere.
This is an alternative reality where I'm not married, and I'm just using Iron Man's body and his suit and his money for the day, and just having the fucking greatest day of my life because. Why not?
That's when you first said it. Because spoiler alert, everybody, in the green room, we do talk about this. We've very little planning, or in Punk's case, I give him 5 minutes planning time.
Sadly,
yeah,
5 minutes is all I need.
Yeah, and I was like, Iron Man, and then in my head, his power's wealth, just same as Bruce Wayne, but it's not though, is it? It's not just wealth. It's
if
ego.
Stig was Batman, it would be
Ego,
like
bravado.
Bane when he picked up
Yeah,
Batman to break him over his neck,
snapped.
but he turned him round the other way and hit his sternum instead.
Oh, fuck you.
Kiss my bollocks.
Yeah, but the difference between Iron Man and Batman is that Batman's a mopey fucker.
He's a
he lives
trained
in a
ninja though.
Parents died. Fuck you.
I know, he's an orphan.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'd end up like probably transferring into his body and like end up just being moping around all the time about his dead parents. I was like,
cheer up, Batman. My parents.
Stick on some ska. Have
it's
a whiskey.
very sad, right? It is very sad that his parents got killed.
Oh, it is,
So-
yeah.
So did Tony Stark's parents.
It's a long time ago. Come on, Batman.
Yeah, fuck Batman. It's too. Batman seems too physical. I couldn't be asked to be that like highly
But
trained.
I thought about Batman because I thought he's wealthy as fuck. I could have a great time. I could just do whatever the fuck I
Being
wanted.
rich
Just
sounds
fly
incredible,
anywhere, do
Batmobile.
anything.
Yeah,
But you don't have the Iron Man suit. It was the Iron Man suit that nailed it for me because that thing could go faster than anything the Batman's got.
I'd spend the day in the Hulkbuster, me.
Yeah, Hulkbuster. I'd just jump in the Hulkbuster and go to a remote place.
I got a McDonald's drive-through.
Planet Earth. Just smash it up. Like no one's not going to bother anyone.
20 nugget challenge now. Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah, Iron Man's really good. Punk, what are you bringing to the table?
I am bringing a little-known character known as Pontius Cassidy.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know you know because I fucking sent you the name.
I still know. Yes, great.
Cassidy, a vampire from the series Preacher.
Yep.
I just wanted to pick somebody that was Irish because it would make me physically sick if I lost my accent. And it's also a great superpower.
It fucking is.
Cassidy is a vampire, and that brings things like super strength, immortality. I wasn't too keen. He also has a heightened sense of smell. Apparently, you can smell blood and everything. Lately, I think it's after lockdown especially, I can smell too much as it is. I don't want more of that. It's like, oh, yeah, why have a shower when you can just have links? Thanks. So his downsides is he's a bit of an arsehole. He has a drink and a drug problem, and I can live with that, especially for a fucking day. Any long-lasting damage will be gone by the time I retain control of myself. So, ripping you off a bit, but what can you do?
Well, I think if you're going to be immortal, I think to not cheer things up, that's the wrong experience, but you're going to be a bit bored, aren't you? For time after time after time, things around you are dying and whatever. So yeah, drinking drugs just seem to be the obvious pathway you're going to have when you're stuck with that, aren't
You
you?
can also pick a fight with whatever you want. You can jump off anything you want. As long as you've a little can of blood with you, you'll recover afterwards.
Yeah.
Get up and do it again. How many times can you die in a day? Let's go.
Yeah,
Bring the camera.
Exactly.
Cool.
If you so I was thinking that I was going to say if you could die, and you're like, maybe I'll just see what it's like because I know I'm going to come back. Unless they chop your head off, obviously.
I don't think that can kill him.
Cassidy can come back.
Yeah, that doesn't
He's
kill
a
him.
hardy bastard.
It's not traditional Bram Stoker
Well,
Dracula style.
Him and Jesse Cusker in the middle of like 80s New York, just rolling about bar to bar, fighting back when you could have fun in pubs. Just I'm all for that. You can smoke inside.
Yeah.
I was just going out for a cigarette.
Oh, I miss those times. Oh, fucking bastards.
So, yes, all over that. As I said, the only downside is he isn't kind to his friends and he's a bit unreliable.
He's a sociopath.
Yeah.
I mean, if you call that a weakness, I'm not sure if you would.
Yeah, for a day I could live with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the rules that NattyCat actually set out as well was that you had the ability to change that. So you don't actually have to be stuck to his problems. You could just be you.
So you don't have to be married to Gwyneth Paltrow then? So yeah, that's...
You don't need a house full of tubes.
No, because if I'm jumping into his body, that's...
You
I'm
could
still
divorce her
going
that
to be
day.
Married. Yeah, I could do. There you go.
And just keep the fanny wax.
The other problem with Cassidy is, if anybody's seen the live show, it's Joseph Gilgun.
Yes. He's not Irish, is he?
And then, no, he is fucking not Irish. You'd never guess watching him.
No.
So I could be stuck sounding like that for a fucking day. That'd be awful.
You just rip out your vocal cords, wouldn't you? Fuck it.
They'd only heal back.
I know, that's the problem. Fucking great pick, that Preacher. Oh. I'd try and tell people to recommend to watch the show, but I'd rather you read the books.
Yeah,
I agree.
Garth Ennis.
And,
yeah.
He's
Northern
even
Ireland,
more
big
brutal
draw.
in the show as well, from what I remember.
It's that Gilgun guy. He was on everything for a while, wasn't he? And
Well, he was brilliant. This is England. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
an
that's good, yeah.
incredibly powerful role, and he hasn't seemed to have anything to match it. He's very comedy based now.
yeah.
He is a funny guy, but he does drama well.
We'll get him on the show next week.
I'll ask him.
Is Preacher the one with the guy who's got a butthole for a mouth?
Yes.
Yes.
Arse face.
That's really... What can we call this character? Arse face.
But there's a reason.
Yeah,
if you
there
read
is
the
a
book,
reason.
You understand it all. And they kind of cover it in the TV show, but I just think the TV show's okay.
They
Although maybe
really
I've only
tried
seen the
to
first.
modernize it and make him a more likable character in the show, which
which is not the
detracts
point.
from the character. No.
Yeah.
Preacher, yeah. Read Preacher, guys. Read Preachers.
Also, it would be lovely to live like that and not end up looking like Shane McGowan. So I think that's another point.
Yeah. I mean, Shane McGowan's got teeth now, hasn't he?
Kinda.
They're not his, are
keys
they?
in his mouth.
Yeah, they're not
He'd
his.
probably find them at a show.
But Christ, yeah. Ooh, what a role model. But yeah, excellent. We'll have more honourable mentions in the Patreon segment. But I want to know. I don't know who's controlling the repulsive sack of feedback. But I want to know what the listeners have brought to the table.
Unload it on the table.
Unload it on the table. Perfect.
Do you want to do it, Piggy? Yeah, you're pretty good at standing in for him.
Yeah, I can do.
Yeah.
No worries.
All right. Thanks.
Oh, he's
So,
fucking
first up-
furious.
He's fuming.
No, he did it last time. He's better than me. I can't fucking read for shit. I always end up
Tony Stark can read. That helps.
Yeah, it does.
I think the
If
suit
you
does
shut
it
the
for
fuck
him.
up, I'll start going on it.
Whoa. All right. Firstly.
Sorry, Dad.
Okay, man.
Daddy's angry.
So first up is Bobby. And he said, if Oodles is bothered about having willies, then Mr. Fantastic might be a good choice.
Ooh.
Imagine the helicopter you could pull off with those powers.
Amazing. One massive willy windmill. Stand on top of like a mountain somewhere and just let it.
Being able to like bungee rope with your own. To the top of the bridge.
It's
Yeah,
just never been investigated in the books, has it?
It
really,
has.
the fact that has it?
Yeah.
At what point? did they...
Whenever Grant Morrison gets a hold of a character, things like that get
okay.
investigated. Trust me. And yes, Sue Storm had a great night that evening.
I wonder if he could you could get it going so fast that it could be like propel you off like a helicopter.
I mean, you're joking, but he's done that. Not with his dick, but with his arms. I love Reed Richards. Don't fucking badmouth him. He's my boy.
Yeah, but it's more fun to do it with your dick,
We're
innit?
Yeah.
talking about him. We're talking about his penis.
Yeah, that's true. Good pick.
Just make sure he doesn't come while he's spinning it
We
around.
might get that when they eventually come into the MCU. We might get the copter. Who knows?
Yeah, that's exactly what Disney and the MCU
Yeah.
are doing.
Turn a 3D film. Ooh.
We're gonna tone down all the blood and stuff in blurred. But what we're gonna do is when Fantastic Four come around, Reed Richards is gonna willy windmill his massive penis.
Yeah.
And you can buy the toy.
Move
from
aside,
Mattel.
Ben.
It's a squirty gun.
Yeah. Fuck it. He does make himself taller all the time as well, like because I think his normal stature is like 5'7". He's quite a short bloke.
Oh, I should have picked him then.
So what he
That
does,
should have just been
what he
it.
always does is make himself that little bit taller all the fucking time.
Mm.
So
I just said, Stig, why do you want to be Reed Richards? So I can be taller than 5'8".
the problem with
That's it.
Richards
That's
though
it.
is
You're 5'5", aren't you?
No. Fuck you.
problem with Richards is he gets doing all the stretchy stuff is it's on his metabolism. He gets tired, so you couldn't willy-copter for too long because you've got to eat a lot of calories and that to keep your metabolism going or whatever.
Not in the Ultimates.
No,
though,
not in
if
the
I
Ultimates. No. He's a full-on mutant in the Ultimates, isn't it?
So we get like one of those beer hats with protein shakes.
Yes,
you're
that's what I'm
bringing
thinking.
overs. Yeah.
Just
We're going for
Huel
the record
injected
here.
into his veins.
Huel, yeah.
One of the
Huel inject
sponsorship
me.
deal.
Yeah, I can't wait for New Fantastic Four. Bring it on.
Yeah, with Cockcopter.
Fantastic Foreskin.
Hey. Moving on. Sergeant Story, he came out with I want to be Nightcrawler and set him up on a villain path. Spend the day robbing banks, jewelry stores, diamond exchange, etc. Pop in, loot wherever, pop out, bring it back to location I can control, then never have to work again.
Kurt Wagner has the worst weakness though. He has to be able to see where he's going. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that when he said
Yeah,
that.
he can end up in between a wall and just die. Do you know what I mean? Like just.
I mean, it's a good point though that that's also what I would do as Tony Stark. I would just put a bit in my bank account.
Deposit some into
See me
your
rest-
PayPal.
See me and my family right for the rest of our
Cheers,
lives.
Tony.
Yeah.
Although if the real Tony Stark then took back over, he could just take that money back.
No, I would write a contract as Tony Stark that
With his signature.
I would do it all by legally. This was before I went on the drunk.
What the fuck is that Bengi bundle and why have I bought 2 years worth of it?
He wouldn't regret that. Gadget wrote in.
Who's
because,
that?
I'm not sure he weird.
He decided
he's-
to have a holiday. Come
It's
on.
not a paid holiday
Ridiculous.
either. This is coming out. This is unpaid.
It's Scotland, it's not a holiday.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's how it should be. He's written in, I trust everything is going swimmingly in my absence. I'm currently ensconced in the west of Scotland, enjoying peace, quiet, and alcohol. Lots of alcohol. As is tradition, when one of us can't be on the show, my pick for the main subject would be Spider-Man. For me, Spider-Man is the perfect superhero. He's brave, he's smart, he looks fantastic in Lycra, but he's got a strong moral compass and he does nothing but good for the people of New York. But the main reason I want to spend 24 hours in the tights is the web swinging. How much fun does that look? Sure, I have to deal with a wandering symbiote or a jealous former friend who stole his dad's tech, but that's a small price to pay for that exhilarating freedom of movement. Swinging between skyscrapers at 70 miles per hour just looks like the best fun any person could ever want. Looking forward to my return next week and expecting I'll come back to the community house warming party meme.
It'd be hilarious if, when he became Spider-Man for 24 hours, it was in Newcastle. Not many tall buildings. He'd just be swinging on the bridge, wouldn't he, for ages? Woo, look at me on the bridge.
Give us a push.
To become Spider-Man and then just end up hitting the side of a bus and spend the rest of the day laid up.
I'm just wishing that when Gadget did become Spider-Man for 24 hours, it was that 24 hours when Spider-Man actually started turning into a spider. Remember that in the old animated? We became the man spider. I wish it was that 24or hours. Fuck yeah, for having an holiday.
Gadget will love that. He has such a
he can't look
warm
himself in the
affection
mirror.
for spiders.
Just be afraid of himself for
Gadget would
24
be
hours.
brilliant with that. You could play Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. And the same.
Yeah. Oh.
He'd be too afraid of himself to do anything.
It catches a glimpse in the monitor.
Or you could come back before Uncle Ben was killed. Save Uncle Ben.
Or just watch him die again.
Yeah.
And then we'd never have to see him get killed.
With great
ever
power.
again.
Yeah, I've heard it, Uncle Ben. I've heard it. Fucking shut up.
Hurry it up. I've only got a day of this.
I've seen 4 of these chuffing origin stories already. I've had enough.
I saw somebody went to a comic convention as Uncle Ben, and then they just dropped dead in front of all the Spider-Mans around the comic centre.
Yeah, it's got pictures of all the different
That's
Spider-Man.
incredible.
Like,
Great idea. But yeah, Spider-Man was in my honourable mentions as well. And a big shout out to Insomniac's game as well, because it bloody hell makes you feel like Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Then we have Ray writing in, "Hi, Modern Escapism. I would certainly be happy to spend a day as Deadpool. The reason for such a choice is I want Wade Wilson's most powerful power, his carefreeness. Whether the world gets saved or destroyed is never a concern for Deadpool. He only cares about making money with his hired gun job, irritating uptight heroes and villains alike, and whatever can make him happy at the moment. On the other hand, his combat skills Oh my god. On the other hand, his combat skills and regenerative ability make the merc with a mouth from being caught in any serious consequence despite the predicaments he was in. With this combo, Deadpool may not be the most powerful anti-hero, but definitely the one carrying the least on his shoulders. Since I can have superpowers for one single day, I would rather have some fun than taking great responsibility because I have great power. After all, no rule-binding citizen can refuse a brief moment of freewheeling with no repercussion."
Just don't take your mask off. Fuck's sake. He is ugly.
So many people, if they had like proper powers, they would just be bastards with it.
Oh,
Well,
without a doubt.
That's why you should listen to
Yeah.
Uncle Ben. Telling you.
Yeah, like so Gadget saying, "Oh, like Spider-Man is, like
He's good and...
right, he's righteous and he's good." It's like, you don't have to be.
No.
You could be a bastard Spider-Man if you want.
Just webbing grannies as they're crossing road and stuff like that.
just walking past webbing everyone while doing the Tobey Maguire dance.
There was recently in one of the Ultimate Spider-Mans, I think about a month ago, where the city actually fined Peter Parker for the excess webbing across the city because it was just making such a mess and it's very difficult to clean. And that's one of my favourite things about it. Like the actual costs of having a superhero in your city, it'd be ridiculous. Like that film Hancock, Will Smith one.
Yeah. He's quite a good shot as well, Spider-Man, with his web, isn't he? You could
Oh,
probably give people wedgies from a distance.
Wedges, what are you
He
from the
uses
fucking
the-
Beano?
When he uses the balled up one, the condensed one, you could just get somebody in the nuts from halfway
Yeah,
across.
that's the one. And he's got the rapid
Well,
fire.
wedgies, because you have to be up close to do that, but to do it from a distance would be quite cool.
Wedges, mate.
I'm going to give you a wedgie when I see you, then you know what I'm talking
Well,
about.
you're going to get a surprise. 'Cause I don't wear underpants.
Bring underwear, stick them on him, wedgie him,
Great, I'm going to get stink palm after all that. So,
wipe his mouth.
Angry Kurt comes in. My choice here would be a tough one between Iron Man and Captain America. I love the idea of having access to all of Iron Man's tech, but in the end, I went with Captain America. Super strength, great fighting style, and an indestructible shield, which he uses to great effect in fights, is all great. But what swung it for me was his moral compass, which always seems to be on point. Plus, he gets to fight Nazis, which, unless I'm mistaken, no other superhero gets to do.
Oh, there's loads to.
Yes, thanks for recommendation on The Thing.
Oh, he's watched The
Good
Thing.
man.
I bet he cried when he
Yeah.
watched it. He doesn't like horror
Good
films, does he?
man. It's a good film to watch if you don't.
I think Kurt picking Captain America is perfect because Kurt's a little Boy Scout, isn't he? Best. He's pure of heart.
is.
He's a kind soul. And
If any of us was to get superpowers, I'd be happiest if it was Kurt.
yeah, he's earned it. He's earned it.
Yeah. He definitely wouldn't shoot a condensed ball of web at your testicles.
No.
Plus, if he was going to jump into Captain America during World War II, you're getting to punch and beat the shit out of Nazis.
So good.
That's a great 24 hours.
Fucking hell.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't need to have your dinner. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Kurt giving
I'm having
Hitler a wedgie.
I'm having a yeah. Biggie going around wedging them all. God, Nazis. Ah. You take that. Fucking Himmler. Ah. You naughty people.
Yeah. But I hope he doesn't get any super jokes come with it, though.
Oh, Captain America.
Oh, he's been on fire. Do you see he changed his name on Twitter?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
terrible.
Brilliant. Kurt, go for it. You're doing the Lord's work.
He is.
The Prince of
And
Satire.
that's it. That's everything in the bag.
Excellent. Absolutely lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So,
Emptied like Spidey's fluid.
oh, wow. Yeah. So, I think it's time to jump ship to the socials.
Yeah, social time. You can visit our website, modernescapism.co.uk. On there you can find a link to all of our socials, contact details, and our merch store. If you have any comments or feedback, you can fill out a form on the website, tweet us or email us on modernescapismpod@gmail.com.
What are you laughing at?
She sounds almost cockney with her accent.
You do.
I know, I apparently do.
All right,
but
now Candy.
That's how I sound when I've got the colds.
Oh,
We also have a Discord server if you'd like to join our community of listeners for a chat about the podcast and many other aspects of pop culture and escapism. If you enjoy Twitch and want to keep us company while fumbling our way through some games, you can find us on twitch.tv/modernescapism. And we're hoping to be back to our regular schedule soon. In fact, I think we're going to maybe do a watch along to the Game Awards, which will be tonight if you're listening to the regular pod. We've already told you about our Patreon, so if you're feeling generous and want to give us a bit of extra support so we can continue to bring you new content, please consider subscribing on patreon.com/modernescapism. We really do appreciate any contributions, and if you want to support us in a non-financial way, leaving us a 5-star review wherever you can really make a... If you want to support us in a non-financial way, leaving us a 5-star review wherever you can really does make a massive difference too. Next week, we're doing rose-tinted glasses. So did you ever look back fondly at any media think, maybe I'll crack it out again? And it just is not as good as you remembered. It should have stayed in the past.
Yeah, for example, Earthworm Jim is not a good game, guys. It's
No.
not a good game.
Wasn't the first time round.
People loved
I
it.
did.
People fucking loved it.
The people were wrong.
Yes.
So yeah, that's going to be a great episode. Nice and cathartic for us all. But yes, for the people that are tight and don't want to pay us any money, we're gonna end the show for you. But I want to thank for the non-patrons. I want to thank Punk for joining us and taking the Gadget box on Zoom. There, thank you very much.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Thank you, DBP. You've been wonderful.
So before we go, Punk, where can people find you?
Oh, well, just you sit there and watch while I plug myself for your pleasure.
That's what I want.
Actually,
Cock is out.
oh, helicopter punk. So I invested in 2 URLs thanks to our own Stig alert me to its presence. The first one is ucons.co.uk and the other one is the slightly friendlier wtfdyw.co.uk. They'll both bring you to my Buzzsprout page. You can find all the socials and everywhere it's hosted through that. Was that snappy enough for
That's
you?
perfect.
Are you happy?
It's perfect.
Yeah. Brilliant, wasn't it? Well done, Punk. Great man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll get fucked.
Now no, I don't want to say that.
To say it
I
back
don't
to
want to
him.
say that to him.
Oh, dude.
He says it
What the
to
fuck
us.
do you
we can say it
want?
back
Such
to
a
him.
pleasure. Try it. Try it.
Now get fucked. Oh,
Oh.
fuck. Helicopter
If you
me
ever
away.
get bored of 2 things, if you ever get bored of saying, what the fuck do you want? And get fucked, just stop recording.
Ooh.
You've gone on too long.
You know I can't end a show as well. I don't know how to do it.
Well, if you want to borrow it, I'll tell everybody you ripped me off.
You'd love that. You'd fucking love
I
that.
would, yeah.
But thank you. And if you want, Punk, you can join us round the back live.
Oh, definitely.
So for everyone that's not paying us, with great power comes great responsibility.
Get out of here, you cheap bastards.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye.
If it's all right with everyone, I'm gonna go.
You can go. You can absolutely go.
Thanks. I'm so sorry. I'm snotty. I'm sorry, Stig. It's gonna be awful.
That's fine.
It's
Like, I do
fine.
apologise.
Thanks, Ray Winston.